And people don't realize sometimes how hard my job is because everybody wants something.
I don't think a person like this should be let out back in the community.
All right, so let's say she goes to prison. At some point in time, she's going to get out of prison because the state is not asking for a life sentence. She's not looking at a life sentence for this offense. We're going on the record
So
and
you can call me crazy and say that, but I do love my family.
I will
I'm a
not-
very strong woman.
when she goes to prison, if I send her to prison and she gets out, then where are we? This case would be so easy if you were found insane at the time of the offense.
Judge, she's gonna be worse. She's gonna be worse and it's gonna lead right back here.
So I've been in for 410 days and I would like to see my family. It's my birthday this month.
Previous counsel, Christine McDonald, did file a motion for insanity evaluation. I've since received a email from Angela Martinez with Judge Carruthers saying that they're gonna schedule her for that evaluation, Judge.
All right, so has she already had last time we were here, there was supposed to be a competency done. So has that been completed?
That has been completed, Your Honor, yes.
And I'm assuming they found her competent. That's why we're doing the sanity now.
They found her competent, Judge, and they referred her back, as I believe they might have forgotten to schedule for the insanity evaluation. Which we believe has merit. So that's when Angela Martinez did reach out to us saying they're gonna schedule for that evaluation.
Has it been scheduled yet or no?
I did see a date just recently, I checked my email just now, Judge, for February 9th. Or I guess that informal inquiry as to evaluation where.
No, sanity, there's no informal inquiry.
Well,
With
that-
sanity, that's basically automatic.
Yeah, that's the way she worded it, so I'm not sure why she may have got the, lingo confused, but I believe that's set where Judge Carruthers is gonna order the insanity evaluation to be conducted. So that's,
Sorry to interrupt. Judge, the last email I have from Ms. Martinez knows that she's going to place it on the docket to have it addressed. I don't have a particular date from her unless the defense has received something additional.
All right.
This was from 6:30 this morning.
Okay, so if she's had the competency evaluation and they determine that she's competent, the sanity evaluation is an automatic evaluation. There is no hearing to be had on whether or not somebody should have a sanity evaluation to schedule it.
yes, Judge.
So,
I'm confused.
I don't believe it was scheduled.
I'm
For
confused.
whatever reason.
It says here, as per Ms. Martinez in the Carruthers court, I can show you the email, Judge. Informal inquiry, parentheses, sanity, Priscilla Gonzalez, in reference to this cause number, is set for an informal inquiry for the sanity evaluation on February 9th.
there's no, I mean, unless the law has changed, there's no such thing as an informal inquiry for a sanity evaluation. You ask for one, you get one.
Yes, Judge. And I'm not sure why she worded that way, but I'm guessing that Judge Carruthers wants to see where we're at with that sanity evaluation on February 9th.
Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. You'll come back on May 11th. At that time, the court will make a decision on your application based upon the PSI TAP evaluation. Do you understand? And any other evidence that's presented. All right, thank you. And probation, there'll be a MIC evaluation as well. Defense, any witnesses?
Judge, I have one. And if I could just get some exhibits to please.
Okay, no, I mean, the state will go first, but I'm just wondering if you have witnesses.
Well, possibly two is my client.
All right, state, do you have any witnesses? All right, can you use that chair there, please? Or- All right, Ms. Turner, I'm gonna ask that you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear. And if you'll just speak into the microphone, then she'll be able to hear. All right, state.
And so you said your husband Frank and your niece David Turner.
Yes.
Do you recall on July 19th, 2022, when you were assaulted, and we're going to get to that, but how long had you been in San Antonio before that day?
We arrived on Sunday, so we've been here, this was our third day.
Okay, so only your third day in San Antonio.
Yes,
And so do you remember that day well?
oh, yes.
So let's talk about that day. What had you done that morning?
We had gotten on the bus to take a tour of the city. We stayed on the bus for 2 to complete tours. And I needed to go to the restroom.
Okay, so at some point you got off the tour bus
Yes,
and did you go to River Center Mall?
yes,
And did Frank and David go with you as well?
yes, we were all together.
Okay, and which restroom did you go to?
We went to the lower level because it was the first one I saw, and at my age, I can't tarry very long.
And Ms. Turner, how old are you
I'm 76 now.
Okay.
I'm 75 now.
at the time? Okay,
Yes.
so once you, do you recall when you went to the restroom, were there other people using the restroom at the time?
No, there was no one in there except me.
At what point did you see the defendant come into the restroom?
I was washing my hands at the sink.
And when you first saw her, what did she do?
She barely glanced at me. I smiled, but no words were spoken.
So no words between you or her were exchanged.
No,
And at some point, did she begin assaulting you?
yes, yes,
Okay, attacking you.
attacking me
And
from
ha-
behind.
Okay, so,
Yes.
and then she pushed you to the ground.
Yes,
And once she got you to the ground, did she get on top of you?
yes.
How was she on top of you?
She was straddled me like a horse with her knees at my sides.
And she continued to while she was on top of you.
Yes,
And did she ever say anything to you?
no.
What did you say? What
I
did you
asked
do?
her why she was doing this to me, and I started screaming for help. I noticed on the walls of the bathroom blood splatter, so I put my left hand on my jugular carotid and tried to finger off with my right hand.
How do you know to do that?
I was an RN.
First off, she's a very religious person, and I thank God that she has deepened her faith and is so grateful for what God has done in her life. Second, she's a very hardworking woman. And after this attack, she no longer had that sort of spirit in her. And that pains me probably the most.
And has it also been hard for you to cope with the effects of this attack and what happened?
Yes. I've been ridiculed at school for being the person who stabs people. I've had my PTSD come back. I've had flashbacks. I still hear screams at night. It's hard.
Is there anything else you want to tell this court?
I don't think a person like this should be let out back in the community because we're not even from here. And for someone to do that to someone who's just coming here for family vacation shouldn't be put out in the community for her to harm other people.
Thank you, David. No further questions.
I am the licensed master social worker for the Public Defender's Office,
And how long have you worked with us?
approximately 4 years.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to designate Ms. Morales as an expert in the area of mental health social work.
State,
No objection.
all right. You may proceed.
Thank you. Ms. Morales, are you familiar with my client?
I am.
Can you tell, how are you familiar with it?
I have been meeting with Ms. Gonzalez for over the course of almost a year.
And what are the purpose of your sessions with my client?
She put together her psychosocial history, looking at her background, gathering medical records to determine what's been going on in her life.
And can you please tell this court what she's been diagnosed with?
Schizophrenia.
And can you please tell the court what kind of symptoms go along with this sort of diagnosis?
Schizophrenia is most marked by delusions, hallucinations, disorganized thinking, illogical thought processes. So, paranoia is also another large symptom.
All right, and so just so all parties know, I'm extremely familiar with the mental health terminology. I used to do a lot of work with mental health issues. So, counsel, if you wish to continue to ask, you can, but I'm aware of it. I'm aware of schizophrenia and the symptoms for schizophrenia, but it's your witness.
Yes, there's just specific things I want to
Sure.
point out to the court.
No
if you
problem.
don't mind.
They recommended that she participate in what is called AOT, a sort of outpatient treatment.
And someone who's lacking insight because of their diagnosis, can they be expected to understand the necessity of following up with treatment?
No, lack of insight is sometimes confused with being in denial of your diagnosis, or you're being stubborn, or but lack of insight means that you do not understand that you are ill. And upon her discharge, she was given an appointment and set to go, even though the doctor noted on her discharge that her insight was poor.
Thank you, Judge. Marisol, Ms. Morales, when we left off, we were discussing medical records that you reviewed from NICS. Can you tell me the date that Priscilla was admitted to NICS Hospital?
1/18/2019.
And do you know why she was admitted?
She was emergency detained for bizarre behavior.
And when was she discharged from NICS?
1/25/2019.
Did you also have an opportunity to review records from University Health System?
I did.
And are those records concerning medical treatment that Priscilla received during incarceration?
Yes,
Did these records show history of more than one incarceration?
yes.
I want to focus on the arrest that occurred in 2019. What date was she arrested?
1/28/2019.
How long after being discharged from NICS for a psychotic episode was she arrested?
3 days later.
So would you say that she remained unstable upon release?
Yes,
Does this happen often in our mental health system?
yes. We're discharged from NICS. Again, we have poor insight that they chose to discharge her after 7 days. She still had not stabilized. This was on the UHS records as well. Unfortunately, this happens time and time again. The patient's still not doing well, still symptomatic, and then they are discharged.
And from reviewing the records, Ms. Morales, did you learn anything about our client's baseline?
Yes, Methodist specialty where she had an especially long stay. The doctor stated that this was her baseline, being that symptomatic. Again, this is when the initial discharge recommendation was to SASH.
And why is this significant?
It's just unfortunate that without the proper treatment, that this is her alleged baseline based on her records. She's continuously struggling, even in the inpatient facility, and then she's being released.
Ms. Morales, what else do you want the judge to know about Priscilla before she makes her decision on sentencing today?
As you stated, Judge, you're familiar with schizophrenia, and it was one of the hardest mental illnesses for someone to struggle with. Their county does very well as compared to other counties with their coordination of care. But as we can see, time and time again, failure after failure after failure. And this is a perfect example of somebody who needed longer hospitalization, and for whatever reason, she was being discharged back out and told, now go to your next appointment.
That's what, Ms. Judge.
Any questions?
Just a couple of questions. So you said that she, and it's in the medical records, that she was released from UHS on January 25th of 2019. Is that right?
Yeah, that she had gone to NICS, yes.
Or NICS, I'm sorry. And how long had she been there?
She had been there 7 days.
So are you aware that just a few days later, January 28th of 2019, she was arrested for committing aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
Yes,
And so I guess my ultimate question is, you would agree with me that she is a dangerous individual, wouldn't you?
no,
So you don't agree, even though are you aware of the facts of this case today,
Yes.
why we're here?
yes.
And you would not say that she is a dangerous, violent individual?
I would say that yes, her behavior, she does have an assaultive behavior history, yes.
And you would would you agree with me that she is a danger to herself and a danger to the community?
With the proper treatment, no.
No further questions.
Any other questions?
Ms. Morales, is this type of diagnosis manageable with medication?
Yes, and long-term hospitalization.
To get someone stable with this type of diagnosis, does that require long-term care?
Absolutely,
Does that require consistent care?
yes,
Has Priscilla received that?
no.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
No further questions.
All right, thank you so much for coming and thank you for working with those who have mental health issues. And I do understand that a lot of times people who have mental health issues, people just push them along through the system because their issues are too complicated. And the goal is, let's get them stabilized. Good luck to you. So I understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you for understanding, Judge.
All right.
Can I be excused?
Yes. Are your next witness?
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to call my client. She has a letter that she'd like to read.
All right, if she plans on reading the letter, then she's going to potentially subject herself to cross-examination.
Can I have a minute with my client? please?
Yes. Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, this argument.
All right, court will hear a brief argument. State.
Judge. What Ms. Gonzalez did to Ms. Turner, to Frank Turner, to David Turner, is horrendous. I think Ms. Gonzalez is lucky to be standing here in front of you today with only this charge, with only aggravated assault, because what she did that day on July 19th, 2022 to Beth Turner was, I believe that her intent was to kill her. She was going to, she found an easy witness, an older witness, and I think she knew that this was a person who could not defend herself and who could not attack back, and she preyed on her. She made that decision to go in there and stab her numerous times. And then she had the gall to tell the police after she was stabbed by Dava, when Dava was protecting her aunt, her grandma, that the bitch stabbed me. I believe those were some of the words that she used. And I understand that Ms. Gonzalez has mental health problems, but I think what the court has to consider is the severe threat that she poses to not only this community, but herself. And I think someone like this, where she needs to spend some time is the prison. And she's been treated and she's had treatment in the past, and she continues to exhibit this type of behavior. And I think it speaks for itself when we look at the fact that she was released from Nick's hospital on January 25th, 2019. But a few days later, she commits an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, separate from the case that we're here for today. I think she is violent, and she has shown this court that with the fact that these are the types of offenses she continues to commit.
All right, and counsel, what do you say to the fact that the state presented a witness, a mental health expert, that she was released and she was not, and she should not have been released from the mental health hospital? It was a situation, which I've seen before, where people have mental health issues, they get treatment and they just stabilize them and then release them without medication, without proper support, and just send them back into the world because not my problem. I want to move on to the next person and we're done. Woo! Thank you. We got her out of here. So what do you respond to the defense's witness? Because that's what the defense witness said. The defense witness said that she never should have been released from the hospital. And it appears that she was released from the hospital and then immediately went out and committed this act.
My response to that, Judge, is that now we have innocent victims here in the courtroom that are victims of her behavior.
But let me ask you this, how is this any different if somebody is at a hospital for, let's say, cancer or some type of physical illness, and they just get them stabilized and say, good luck to you because your problem is too complicated. We're going to stabilize you and then we're going to send you out into the world. Let's say somebody goes to a hospital and they are bleeding or they need a heart transplant. And they say, you know what? Your case is a little bit too complicated. I know you need this heart transplant immediately, or I know you need these stitches immediately, but you know what? We're going to give you a Band-Aid because great. We've stopped the bleeding. We know you're going to end up needing stitches, but we're not going to do that. We're going to send you back out into the world. Good luck to you. And they end up bleeding because they didn't get the stitches. The problem is people treat mental health differently from what they treat people who have cancer, who need a heart transplant. Basically, the evidence that I've heard from the defense's witness is she never should have been released from the hospital with her mental health issues. There's no doubt in my mind that she was going through an episode when this offense was committed. The only issue for the court to consider is whether or not she should be going to prison or whether or not she should be going to probation. So if you all want to address issues for closing arguments, it would seem where the address should be coming in from both parties would be, was she released from the hospital? Should she have been released from the hospital? Did they know releasing her from the hospital, she was going to have an episode? Did they know they were sending somebody out in this world with schizophrenia, with no medication to go forth on their own? And as I told both parties, I'm aware of mental health conditions. I'm aware of what happens with people who have schizophrenia and they not receive treatment. I'm aware of what people who don't receive treatment for bipolar. And I'm aware of the system where people are tired, people don't want to deal with anybody who is causing problems at the state hospital, wherever they be. And their thing is, let's med them up, let's get them stabilized so we can push them on. I read all the documents. I read all the defense's documents. I read the PSI report. I read the stipulations. And the documents that's been provided to the court by the defense is they wanted to get rid of her because her problem was too complicated. And then I read the the documents that were admitted without objections, where when she first came in to see them, she was accusing people of beating her up, accusing people of stabbing her father, accusing people of out to get her, accusing the staff of rape. And they didn't quit on her. They just said, well, she's accusing staff person. It's not true. What we're going to do is we're going to end up having more people in the room. So those are the issues that need to be addressed for the court to make a decision on whether or not I'm sending her to prison or sending her to some sort of inpatient treatment facility. So that's what I would like to hear in closing, because honestly, I already know. I know that she did a terrible thing to the complainant in this case. I know that this complainant was laying bleeding on the floor in the restroom. I know that she was here in San Antonio trying to enjoy her vacation, that she was on a bus. So if both parties can focus on why I should send her to prison or why I should give her probation, I already have read and I know that the complainant in this case could have died. I know that the complainant's relative came in and saved her life. I think that if the complainant's relative hadn't come in at that point in time, she would probably be dead. I know from witnesses' statements that the complainant's life is never going to be the same again. I know that she's not going to be able to do everything that she used to do. So if everybody would like to focus on that, that would help the court make a decision. And I have an open mind both ways. So I will hear argument.
I guess, Judge, it comes down to if she receives probation and she does some sort of outpatient treatment, she eventually will be back in the community. And I think it once again raises the danger level to the community.
So
because
you're
she-
saying it would be fine for her to be on probation if she's in inpatient treatment for the entire length of probation?
No, I'm saying if she's on probation, she will be out.
All right, so let's say she goes to prison. At some point in time, she's going to get out of prison because the state is not asking for a life sentence. She's not looking at a life sentence for this offense. So when she goes to prison, if I send her to prison and she gets out, then where are we?
Well, I mean, but Judge, I think the arguments to me made if she gets probation as well. Probation isn't something that lasts forever either. So either she's going to be on probation and be putting the community at risk because she's not in prison, or she's going to be in prison.
Well,
and
if
she can
she's on
receive
probation,
mental treatment while she's in prison.
if she's on probation and she's in a facility, because she can be on probation for 10 years. And if she's in a facility for 10 years receiving treatment, how's that any different than her going into prison and what the state has offered her for a prison sentence? She will be eligible for parole in half the time. And if she's stabilized, she's probably going to be released in half the time. These are questions the court has.
What it comes down to for the state judge is just the level of violence that is this case. I think it's a person who deserves to go to prison and work on her mental health there. There's treatment that she can receive while she's in prison. It's not like we are sending her to prison and she won't receive any type of treatment while she's there. I think, but that gets her out of the community and off the street and prevents her from committing yet another aggravated assault. And I noticed in some of the records from UHS, it says the officer states that she's getting into arguments with other inmates for actions seeming manipulative and attributed to behavior. I think even while even if she were to be in some sort of inpatient treatment, she's putting others at that treatment facility in danger from her violent or aggressive behavior. And so a person like that who is even showing signs of aggression while being held in a hospital or inpatient type facility, the safest place for everyone is for her to be in prison.
So your answer then is let her cause trauma, and be violent at the prison with other inmates?
I believe prison and her receiving treatment in prison is more appropriate than her being on probation.
Can I proceed?
Yes.
Judge, I know you're aware of this, but I just want to emphasize universal underfunding. No consistent individualized care. Lack of beds available. Revolving door hospitalizations. Too few intermediate care programs. Judge, that's just a snapshot of some of the inadequacies of our mental health system. As my witness pointed out, we've come a long way, Judge, but my client is an example of what happens when we fail, Judge, and our mental health system failed her. I am in no way trying to minimize the pain that family went through. My heart goes out to them, Judge. But the reality of my client's life is one day she woke up and she heard voices. I know this court has gone over the PSI, Judge. She graduated from high school. She was in college for some time, Judge. She wanted to be a medical assistant. My client had dreams. And I do want to address, the state asked Ms. Morales if my client is a dangerous person. And that just goes to the stigma of mental health, Judge. My client is not a dangerous person. She is sick. She is symptomatic, but she can get better. She's never received a chance to get better, Judge. I'm not asking for her to go into the community. I'm not asking for you to put her on probation, release her tomorrow, put her on outpatient and send her on her way. We saw what happened, Judge. We saw what happened since back in 2015 when these hospitals did that. And not, these are medical professionals notating on the date of discharge that she's still psychotic, that they're still having to monitor her every 15 minutes. And then not only that, Methodist Specialty, they explored the avenue of sending her to SASH. Why they didn't do it is absolutely beyond me, because maybe we wouldn't be here. If my client was committed back then in a hospital, inpatient, receiving the care that she needs, Judge, that would have given her insight, because lack of insight, that's a symptom of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, as you know, affects our brain and how we react. And with medication, it can be managed, Judge. You ask the state what's going to happen when she gets released. Judge, she's going to be worse. She's going to be worse, and it's going to lead right back here. If she's inpatient long enough, Judge, my client has the chance to lead a normal life. I wish that things were different, that maybe our office came in contact with her sooner, but Judge, we didn't, and we're here today. And my client is begging you for help.
All right. So with regards to this case, was there a request for a sanity evaluation? Was the sanity evaluation completed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was the result of the sanity evaluation?
She was deemed sane, Judge.
Okay. All right. Ms. Gonzalez, I do feel as though Bear County and society should apologize to you. And let me just tell you why. Because it's clear from the court that you should have been at a mental hospital, but somebody dropped the ball. Somebody just wanted to do triage and send you out into the world, knowing that you should not have been sent out in the world, that you probably should have still been at the mental hospital receiving treatment. And they should apologize to the complainant in this case as well, because who knows, maybe that would not have happened to her if you were where you were supposed to be. But at the same point, I'm looking at the photos. Have you seen the photos of the injuries? Counsel, do you want to show the photos to your client? And I wanted you to see those because I wanted you to know what, and I'm sorry, counsel, this is for you as well. I wanted you to see those because I wanted you to know everything that I'm looking at and everything that I'm considering. And I take all these cases very seriously. And people don't realize sometimes how hard my job is because everybody wants something. I know what the state wants. I know what your attorney wants. I know what the complainants want. And then I have to make a decision. And part of my decision making is protecting the community. I look at your criminal history, consider any other evidence that's presented to me to make a decision, right? Now, this case would be so easy if you were found insane at the time of the offense, because if you're found insane at the time of an offense, then that basically means you don't know right from wrong. And that means, and your attorney will tell you, that means that you're not responsible because basically you don't know right from wrong. You understand? But in this case, it's not a situation of you not knowing right from wrong. All right. And I do understand mental health issues. And as a defense attorney, I had so many clients who had mental health issues, and I had so many clients who ended up being under a doctor's care for the length of the offense that they were on. I had some clients who were found insane and they were charged with murder, but they were found insane, which would mean because the range of punishment for murder is up to life in prison, they would be under care for life. But I don't have that situation here. So I don't have somebody saying that you were insane at the time of the offense. And the reason why I'm taking my time, and I try to do this with everyone who's before me, so that they will know that I listened and I heard their witnesses and I heard what was given to me. Because I never want anyone to appear before me and they assume that I'm not listening to them. Because sometimes you may see me doing 3 things at one time and people are like, oh, judge is not listening. But I do. I'm able to multitask. And so I have listened to everything. And it is a shame that you were not given the help that you needed at the time that you needed. And it was a shame that they released you. But with that being said, I don't feel comfortable granting your application for deferred adjudication. So I am going to find you guilty. According to the plea bargain agreement, it is a cap of 13 years. Does anyone wish to speak to the cap?
I do, Judge.
All right. State?
Judge, the state is fully aware of the plea bargain agreement. We made that agreement. We feel that the cap and you reaching the cap is appropriate, or that's not the offer that we would have made based on everything, based on the case itself, based on all the facts. That was the plea bargain agreement that we made and defense agreed to. And so for that, we're going to ask the court to use its judgment, but we are asking the court to considering everything to meet the cap.
And Judge, may I proceed, Judge?
Yes.
Judge, I'm asking you to take into consideration all of the documents that I provided to the court today, Judge. As you have recognized, my client has been sick for a very long time. And because of that and those mitigating circumstances, Judge, I'm asking for the lower end of the punishment range, Judge.
All right. Ms. Gonzalez, what do you think you deserve? What do you think would be an appropriate sentence for you?
Some medical treatment in a hospital, outpatient aid.
All right, so that ship has sailed. So you're going to be going to prison. So the state is asking for 13 years.
I want him to be getting some kind of treatment in here. If they
Well,
have treatment in here, I could take it in here.
Well, here's the thing. At the prison, they do have a mental health treatment facility there. And I'm going to put on the docket sheet that you receive and that you receive the mental health that they provide.
You know what, then maybe I should read my letter so you understand, because I don't think I deserve to go to treatment. Perhaps you need to listen to my letter. I don't think I deserve to go to treatment. Because this is what I have to say.
All right, well, just a second. This is what the court is going to do. The court is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 12 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's restitution, if any, to Ruth Turner. There's to be no contact with Ruth Turner, Frank Turner, Dava Turner. I'm going to recommend that she be placed at the Texas Mental Health Unit at the prison. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon.
Well, what I have to say is why I deserve mental health treatment here if they have it,
Okay.
instead of going to prison. Since 2015, I was hearing voices and I heard screams and I had saw flames, little images of flames, in my visions around the room in my house. And I told my parents about it and I cried because of these visions of people coming in my house. I told my mom about it and she took me to the hospital to get medical treatment. I went to several hospitals and was taking medicine for schizophrenia, seeing flames and hearing voices. But I don't believe I was myself. I'm not a murderer. According to what the pictures I saw, the stab wound was on the right side. She doesn't have stab wounds on the right side of her neck. And I saw it. I stabbed her right here. She doesn't have that. And I
All right, so Miss
myself, I was
Ms. Gonzalez, All right, let me explain something to you, okay? All right, so I understand what's going on in your life. And I understand that the state hospital and those people in the medical field for mental health dropped the ball. They didn't do right by you. That is why I'm giving you 12 years in prison as opposed to the 13. What I'm telling you is at the prison, I'm going to request that you be placed in the mental health unit. And Defense, I know you're aware that there's more than one mental health unit, so they'll evaluate her and see which mental health unit is appropriate for her stay. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. We can go off the record. Counsel, thank you for presenting that information to the court, and hopefully, the state hospital will do better. Thank you.
We do have victim impact.
She can't be. All right, so I'll have you read it, because let me just tell you what's in the police report. I know sometimes people may have issues with their step parents, right? But it's just not the step parent, it's the family. They're saying that you were off your meds. And sometimes when people are off their meds, they don't realize what they're doing. So this is what I'm going to do, because I don't want you to come back before me being off your meds. I'm going to recall this for Thursday. I understand, but
I'm in menopause, man.
Yeah.
I had got hit by a girl, so all due respect, ma'am.
oh, just one second. The court is going to order a MIC evaluation, and the court will have you brought back for sentencing on Thursday, May 15th.
Perfect.
Okay.
Just ask us to defend the main custody, so that's what the evaluation is complete.
All right. So there'll be a mental health evaluation in custody, but it'll be done by Thursday.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
All right. Norma, on this case, recall it for May 15th. Okay.
You're gonna get,
Wow.
she just wants to know what.
All right, here's the thing, Miss O'Banion, here's the thing though.
Meds right now, I'm taking meds and I have been for inject, so I'm taking medication already. And I'm really well on my medication now.
All right, see, here's the problem.
So I have
People,
insurance and I'm on social security, so I can go get medication on the outside, and that would prefer to be better and healthier for me at this point. I actually got hit by a girl, so I prefer to be safely out. And
all right,
take
you
care of
actually got hit by what?
a female.
All right, so if you want,
I didn't deserve that.
Deputy Laura,
Yes, Judge.
she said she was hit by a female
Yeah,
in
press charges on
custody.
that.
Could you make sure that they place her in protective custody?
I'm gonna go in protective custody, ma'am. No,
Okay, so
thank
then,
you. I don't want that. No, thank you.
so no protective custody.
No.
All right, but you can let them know that she says she was hit by a female.
Well, they know in there, I deal with them and I press charges on that, so I handle it properly.
All right, so we'll bring you back on Thursday, the 15th.
I did well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With
You're welcome.
Sergeant Millsap and God.
All right. We're going on the record in 2025 CR 0000451, State versus Leslie O'Banion. Could I have parties announced?
That's Dwight Shumley for Miss O'Banion.
Yes. All right, you entered a plea of no contest on May 12th of 2025. According to your plea bargain agreement.
May I give you this, ma'am? Miss Susan Boyd?
To what point, why are you giving me that?
It's my waiver.
It's your what?
You, ma'am. It's for you, Judge. Thank you.
No, what is it for? That's what I'm trying to.
Motion that I did.
All right, so here's the thing, you've entered a plea, unless that's a motion to withdraw your plea, it's not appropriate at this time, okay? All right.
It's kind of is. But
Well, I mean,
I would just like to, I did the work on it.
Your Honor, it's a
It's
writ of
okay.
habeas, it's a writ of habeas corpus.
It's a written motion to reduce state jail felony to misdemeanor.
All right, so the state jail felony is
And
not
we're gonna
being,
pay the schools.
all right, the state jail felony is not being reduced to a misdemeanor. All right?
Well,
No, no, I
You know,
appreciate
because
it.
he's
No,
not
no.
really doing a job. for me.
No, no, no. He's actually doing an excellent job for
I don't
you.
agree, but okay.
Well, I mean.
And that's what I got, so that's what I gotta deal with, so I signed up
Well,
probation.
no, no, no. Here's the thing, what I'm telling you, and this is what I
I
want
just
you to
would like to
hear.
go home
I want you to hear,
on probation, and that's what I signed for Monday, right, Miss Boyd, Miss Leslie O'Banion? I signed for 3 years deferred.
Mhm.
So. I did my cap of balance inside, so I'd like to be released to have probation, ma'am, thank you. That's what I find.
all right, so let me just tell you right now, that's not what you signed up for. What you signed up for is there was a plea bargain that was entered into. And guess what happens with plea bargain agreements? I'm the person who sets conditions, and I'm sure your attorney told you that. So whether or not you're released today, it's really up to me. So that's where we are.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
I don't know why people continue to think that
I
everybody
don't know
can.
why I
Here's
thought
the thing.
probation's outside the jail, and
All
it
right,
is.
so then what I'll do, if you're gonna continue,
No, ma'am.
if you want to continue to talk over me, then you can do so.
No, ma'am,
But you're
I
gonna
don't
be
wanna.
talking,
So I'm
but
sorry. please
you
forgive
are
me, ma'am.
going to be talking over me and talking by yourself. And what I will do is I'll just set this for another day. So
I'll quiet.
what I'm telling you
Feeling
is I do
apologize.
not understand why everybody thinks that they can be an attorney without a license. If everybody could be an attorney, then guess what? We would not have gone to school for it. So,
God bless you, ma'am.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chumley,
Mhm.
thank you for your patience.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am.
All right, so this is
Miss
what,
Judge Stephanie Boyd, please forgive me, and I'm sorry, I'm just very, miss my family very much. So I've been in for 410 days and I would like to see my family. It's my birthday this month. And I miss my family tremendously.
well, here's the thing.
So I
If you
love my
could, if
family
you
and they love
continue,
me.
if you continue to commit offenses, then that's not showing love for your family, because the reason why you're not with your family now is because you've
I've
committed an
been away
offense.
from my family and I've
And actually, the offense
suffered very much
the
inside
offense,
Air County Jail, ma'am.
the offense that you have committed
Okay,
is an
cool.
injury to the elderly or disabled
Wow.
person, bodily injury. And that person is an elderly person. So that's why you are here. And what I can tell you is, if
Okay.
I follow this agreement, you are not going back to that location. You're not going to be allowed to be around any of those persons. Do you understand? Maybe she understands, maybe she doesn't. All right, so defense, this is my concern.
Okay.
My concern, have you all both read the MIC evaluation?
I have
This is
PTSD.
my concern in here. In my concern, she says she doesn't have any mental illness diagnosis, demanded that those be taken off the records, and that she will not be taking medications once she's released.
I have PTSD trauma. I do have that, ma'am. I do not have bipolar. So that seems to be a problem. It's outdated information from when I was 28 years old. I'm 48. I'm gonna be 49 this year. So that's very old medical stuff that's out of date, ma'am.
All
So
right.
I'm sorry for that, but that is actually true. I have PTSD, I have anxiety, I have trauma. That's what I do, diagnose it.
All right, probation.
Thank you.
How
Sorry.
are we going to handle this? She's saying that once she's released, she's no longer going to take her medications.
I
Is
actually
there
am.
any?
So I have insurance. I'm gonna see my doctor. That's what I told the lady on the Taco Bell, ma'am. So I'd like to finish that, and I'm sorry she didn't put that in there. There's miscommunication happening, and it's really important to me, ma'am.
Mhm.
I have insurance and I take very good care of my health. I actually have therapy set up for me already for when I'm released. I did that inside jail for the Rape Crisis Center. That's free therapy for me that I need. And I'm also going to go see my doctor and get on medication when I'm released. I take regular meds for myself and I take very good care of my health. I have health insurance. I'm on disability. So I plan on following up with my doctor I see currently in the Quarry Market. I have a doctor already. I have a pharmacy at Walgreens. So that is not actually true. I'm saying I have to follow up with my doctors on the outside where I take care of my health. And
All right, so
my mental health
probation,
is important to me.
how are we gonna address this issue? How do you suggest we
So
address it?
I'm gonna be taking meds. I will be complying with that. So that is not true, ma'am, and I'm sorry she wrote that. So I
Alright.
wanted to clarify. Please forgive me,
Thank
but
you
that
for-
is important.
Thank you for your clarification.
Yeah.
Probation, how are we gonna handle
So
this?
I will be taking my meds. So
Judge,
I need to get them adjusted. Thank you. With the proper
Judge-
physician. Mine.
we can,
I take meds.
Get
inside
it.
their county.
we can get an authorization to obtain records to ensure that she is actually
Walgreens,
going
Lincoln
to.
Heights,
All right, just one second. So let me ask you something. Ms. O'Banion,
yes.
it appears as though maybe you're not medically
They have
compliant
out of
with your
date.
medications. The reason why I say that is because you're not able to control yourself at all. You're speaking over everyone who is talking. I've asked probation a question. You keep interrupting her. So
I'm not.
what,
gonna
let me do this. What do you want to say to me? I'm here to listen.
Ma'am, what's happened since I've been incarcerated is they have out of date information. So me trying to update somebody that has old information, like I said, on me when I was 28 years old is so out of date. It is. I'm 48 years old, ma'am. So I've changed my life. I went to prison in Plain State 10 years ago and I changed my life, and that does matter. Okay? So I live a very good and healthy life for myself. I take care of myself and I support my own self. I'm a single woman. I live alone. I have a pet. And that's what I do. I support myself. I don't rely on a man. I take care of myself. And I've lived that way for a long time. I'm very strong, independent woman. That's the way my mom raised me. So I'm blessed to have that. You know, I pay my bills and I always have a pet because I have trauma. I've groomed animals. I'm retired. And so I always have a fur baby. You know, I gave up my son for adoption. And, you know, this was something I forgave my stepdad. I didn't report it. And I felt sorry for him. He's an older man. So it's my fault for that. There is issues there. He is crazy and he has broken my bones in the past, ma'am. I just didn't feel right about doing something against my family. So it's okay if they say I did something to him, and that's fine. So I apologize, but this is what really matters to me is I love my family and I miss my family very much. My brother has my car waiting for me.
They do not want to have any contact with you according to the police report. So
That's
I'm
fine.
not gonna allow you to
but
have
I've
contact
talked to
with
my brother inside jail,
all right,
and that's my brother. I have other family members, man, and he's married.
Okay.
So that's not my mama.
Okay.
And that I can still talk to my mother. That's my mom. She's married to my stepdad. I'm gonna not talk to my stepdad. That's the person, Danny. Okay, so that's one individual. So I'd like to clarify that. I'm not gonna already get in trouble when I'm not even released out, when I have families. There is toxic issues there, so that is a problem with that man. He has issues. So I will not be seeing my stepdad, period. I can see my mom on my own. She can come to my apartment. And that kind of thing, same with my brother. But, and his wife and kids, the same applies. I'm not gonna be seeing my stepdad though. I've already decided that myself personally. So I'm a strong woman, you know, but I would love my other family. I'm not gonna not see them. They love me.
all right. Is there anything else you want to say?
And please forgive me, ma'am. I do take care of my health and I'm sorry that I've tried very hard because it's important to me to update people that had information on me. And it is important because that's about my health. And that's when somebody has old information that's not current, it needs to be updated, just like medical files, you know?
All right. Is there anything else you want to say?
And please forgive me, ma'am. I am a very respectful person.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I'm sorry for talking, ma'am, but
Oh, no, you can
Yes.
talk. I'm giving you time to talk right now. Is there anything else you want to say?
You can call me crazy and say that, but I
Oh,
do
no,
love my
no, no,
family.
I will
I'm a
not-
very strong
I
woman.
will not call you crazy. Is there anything else
You
you want to
can.
say?
That's fine. I'm used
Well,
to
I
people
will tell
calling
you
me that.
this. I refuse to call you that.
Thank you. I don't like the stigma.
All right, so is there anything else that you
No,
want to say to me?
no, ma'am. And I think you're a very awesome judge. You're doing a great job. And you are. And thank you for helping me.
All right, probation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Probation?
Yes, Judge.
How are we gonna handle the fact that in the Mickey evaluation, they're saying that she's not gonna take her medications? What do you
So I
suggest?
am.
All right, so here's the thing.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
giving you time to speak.
Yes.
I did not interrupt you. I let you talk for as long as you want to talk. So now it's someone else's turn to talk. So do not interrupt them. And I want you to hear me clearly and internalize what I'm saying. If you interrupt them, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to send you back to jail. We are not going to hear this and I will bring you back on Monday. Do you understand? All right, probation. How do you suggest we handle this?
Judge, I think we should probably get an authorization of release so that we can be in contact with the individuals that are taking or prescribing medication, her doctors.
Mhm.
We can do a referral for Center for Healthcare Services. I believe the MIC evaluation indicates that she is not eligible for DDRF.
Yes.
However, she is eligible for the MIC caseload, I believe. And we could put her on the MIC caseload. Judge, I really can't think of anything else other than maybe, you know, a life skills course or moral recognition therapy or something like that.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is gonna do. Court is gonna sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. I'm sorry. 3 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. I'm sorry, that will be probated. Take in consideration 2025 CC 000947. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Danny Cox, Timothy O'Bannon. There's to be no contact of 14450 Old Frio City Road in Lytle, Texas, 78052.
Can't ask.
There's to be, she's gonna be placed on the MIC caseload. Referral to Center for Health Care Services. The defendant is to sign a release for mental health information. There's to be anger management course. TAP evaluation. That can be done out of custody, follow recommendations. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And there's to be no contact with minors.
I have
Probation, is there anything else?
hate children.
I'm sorry, what?
Fuck you.
Like any type of employment or SSI.
Yes. Proof of employment
Behind the military.
or SSI within 30 days of release, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors.
I hate to ask you to do this, Judge, but can you give me that address again?
Yes.
She live in Bear County. You live in Bear County.
I'm gonna probably be relocating, I think.
Well,
So I
be right-
reside here now,
Okay.
but I will be relocating and moving my.
You do live in
location
Bear County.
No,
Where do you live?
yeah, I live nowhere right now.
All right, so
I haven't decided I'm gonna be leaving, so I'll relocate.
you're to remain in Bear County until the court approves you to leave Bear County.
Cool.
If
I'll
you
be
leave-
hiring a realtor.
If you leave Bear County, what will end up happening is a warrant will be issued for your arrest.
I can relocate with some
All right.
to another. city. Thank you.
Probation, is there anything
Okay.
else? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, counsel, did you review the trial court certification with her?
Yes,
And did you explain it to her?
yes,
And did she place her signature on the document?
yes.
All right, because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. All right, thank you. State, make sure that you make the complainant aware of what has happened here today and that
Can I have a
there's a
copy of
no
my
contact
probation
order.
paperwork?
Okay,
May I have a copy of probation paperwork?
you understand? All right, thank you.
My lawyer said it costs money.
Oh, that's hard.
All right, Miss Abrams. She's to remain in custody until the TAP evaluation. Counsel, if you can approach, please. And do a TAP evaluation and a referral to felony drug court. All right, so based upon what your client said as she was going through the door, I honestly don't think it would be safe for the community or for her to be released from jail now. So we're gonna do a TAP evaluation while she's in custody.
Okay,
Do a referral to felony drug court. And
Yeah.
felony drug court can potentially address any mental health
I
issues.
think that's wise.
And also, if you want, we can also do a referral to the mental health court, which is across
Yeah.
the way. And state, if you have no objections, if they decide to accept her, because they'll only accept them if they're not on probation.
Right.
If they decide to accept her and you're in agreement with it, we can do a motion for a new trial and I'll grant
Okay.
it so that she can be there.
And I would like to say, just some, Your Honor, I did have her psychologically evaluated. She was found competent.
Mhm.
And then these things are fluid, and I understand that, but she's never not understood what's going on. She has ideas of what she wants to see happen, but
Mhm.
I think she needs help, obviously. She needs mental health. So,
And there's already a trespass order, a no trespass order in place with her family. I don't know if she understands that or
Right.
not, but.
thank you, Judge. Appreciate
My
your help.
concern while we're here is that if we move her across to the next health court, my understanding that that's out of custody instead of in custody.
Well, not necessarily. They'll see what is appropriate for her. So if they decide that there's some sort of mental health treatment that she needs to do inpatient, they'll do that.
That's what I prefer. I just wanted her to be like mentally clear to rejoin the community, I guess you could say, because I don't think she's safe enough to rejoin the community.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. And be excused?
Yes,
All right,
thank
appreciate
you.